Hey sis or bro, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tamara here with the Mompreneur Plug, and on my channel I help mothers embrace who they are outside of motherhood. Welcome back, guys. I'm super excited about today's video because I am doing a collab with a wonderful lady that I met. Her name is Carrot Spice Fitness on YouTube. She has a great channel about health and fitness, and she wanted to sit down and interview me because she was able to take a look at the Mom with Anxiety series. And I'll leave that card somewhere up here so that you guys can check that out when you have spare time. But she wanted to interview me about my experience with postpartum depression. Many of you know that I did suffer with it tremendously after the birth of my first son. And so this video was just a snippet of an interview that she conducted with me concerning my experience with postpartum. If you want to see the full video, you can hop on over to her channel and view the entire interview. Thank you, guys. Stay tuned. And so this video is very important because today, October 10th, is Mental Health Awareness Day. And so we thought it would be appropriate to post this video to bring awareness to mental health. I think it's important that we acknowledge it because it is something and people are struggling silently. And it's my duty, I believe, as someone who experienced it, to help people who are going through it and let them know that they're not alone in this. So without further ado, go ahead and check out this video and let me know what you think. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Carrot Spice, and today I have a very special guest. Her name is Tamara. I first saw Tamara on Facebook with her comedy, and oh my gosh, this girl is funny. She's really funny, and I just had to check her out. And literally, that is how I discovered Tamara on the internet. She resonates with me as an educator. She's an educator. She's a wife. She's a mom. She's a businesswoman. I mean, everything that you can think of about Carrot Spice is this woman. And I felt the connection. I'm like, I gotta get this girl on my channel, not because of the comedy, but because of the other content that she shared as well. So you guys know from time to time, I do talk about like health and anxiety in particular, and now postpartum depression. And of course, my platform on YouTube is about health and fitness and overall wellness. And I thought, oh, what a great time to bring this woman on my channel. Not only are you going to learn about who she is, you're going to learn about her journey, and you're going to learn about just the struggles and how she worked through those challenges. And it's now officially October. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and October 10th, I think, is Mental Health Day. And for me particularly, I'm trying to push this in the Black community as well, because it's not something that is openly discussed in the community. Hi, Tamara. Thank you so much for joining me after this mess. Oh my gosh, I owe you a big one. So are you able to pinpoint when your whole struggle started?
Yeah, so I have about three major pinpoints. The first one was when my first son, who's 6 years old now, he was about 3 weeks old, and so he was still very new baby. And actually, he was about 2 weeks old. I started feeling sick, really sick. I had a fever. I could not explain it. I didn't know what was going on. I was uncomfortable internally. Everything was just off. And I went to the ER over the course of a week, in and out, like every other day I was in the ER. They misdiagnosed me so many times. And at the time I didn't know that I was still under the care of my OB. I just thought that I done had the baby, now I need to go back to my primary care. But I didn't realize that you're under the care of your OB for at least 6 weeks after the baby is born. And so I eventually called her, and she was like, come see me immediately. and she admitted me into the hospital. And to this day, we don't know what it was, but there was a lot of guilt that came with that because I'm watching my husband, who's a new father. He ended up taking off work and literally taking care of me and a brand new baby. I was having to pump and dump, and I remember there all this guilt set in that I was a bad mom and that I had done something wrong. So that was the first pinpoint. And then the second pinpoint for me was I was teaching middle school. I was teaching drama in middle school. And I came home and I was holding my son. And at this time, he was about 3 months old. And I just boohoo cried. I just cried. I was holding him, looking at him, and all I could do was cry. And he's looking at me, and like it was me and my husband and a friend was at the house, and they were like, "What is wrong with her?" And I'm just boohoo crying. I'm holding him, and I feel no connection to him. I feel nothing. I feel like a bad mom. I'm like, everybody else can take care of him better than me. I can't take care of him. And then the third pinpoint for me was like to come home from work. I really only, when I finally went back to school after having my son, because I had him the first week of school, I had him the week after the first week of school. So I was out and I missed all this time with my students. And I came back, and when I came back, it was just so much. It was chaotic. And for those of you who don't know, I was a first year teacher. I was in the master's program. So I was pursuing my master's. I was a new mom and a new wife, all in the same at the same time. And so I came home from work one day. I'll never forget. I laid on the floor in my sunroom and I was just staring off in space. And I remember just kind of looking, and my friend and my husband was just like, "Are you okay?" And I couldn't talk. And then I ended up talking to my mom on the phone about something, and she was trying to explain something to me, but it just made me feel worse. I went into the room and started screaming, "I want to die. I want to die. I don't want to be here." And I remember saying it, and on the inside, I was like, "Why are you saying that?" But I couldn't stop saying it. I literally could not stop saying it. And so my husband just grabbed me and started praying. And then I just sat there. And that's right there is when I knew, okay, something is wrong. You need to go, like, you need to get help. And so those would be my three major pinpoints where I knew something was not right with me. But I had heard of postpartum, but I didn't really know it was a thing. Like, I'd heard people talking about it, but it's not, like I said, it's not something discussed in the African American community. So I didn't know I was going through it until somebody else said, "Hey, this is what you're dealing with."
Right. Well, thanks for sharing that. So, I said the Black community simply because I'm really from the Caribbean. And even though we have African American, we have African, it's the same thing back in the Caribbean. Mental health is not necessarily something that is really discussed openly. So, that is one reason I started interjecting this on my channel. I felt like it was that important. Um, for me, when I mentioned my whole scenario in the classroom, that is where I first heard the A word, the anxiety word, and that was back in 2018. I'm pretty sure my symptoms started around 2015, 2016. There was some major changes in my life that probably would have led to me experiencing those symptoms and those symptoms manifesting at that time. So much later, like a couple of years later. Fast forward, okay, I recently had a baby this May of 2020, and she was delivered at 29 weeks. Backstory to that, I had a very, very difficult pregnancy with, the whole, it's called HG, hyperemesis gravidarum. I talked about this on my channel as well, and just how it was really stressful for me, the emotional impact of that. Then having my pregnancy end abruptly was something else. That was another bit of trauma that I'm still trying to reconcile. It's like I was pregnant now, and then in the next 10 minutes, I was told, okay, we're going to deliver this baby because of your preeclampsia. And then having a baby in NICU was another bit of struggle and trauma for me. So it was like three things all together. For you, what advice would you give there to, like, let's say moms who just do not know where to turn to? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to do their research. find a reputable company or a counselor. Or I know right now during the pandemic, it's kind of hard, but there are a lot of online counseling resources that are reputable, depending on your preference. So for me, I would recommend that you, number one, do your research. Number two, it's not a question. Go to counseling, because a certified person who can sit down, hear what you have to say, and then also give you a constructive response, one that'll help you. I recommend it, because for me, even now, even though I'm not dealing with postpartum, and I'm not necessarily dealing with depression anymore, um, there are things that she taught me years ago that still stick with me. And sometimes it's good to just have somebody who's unbiased, who will hear what you have to say, and then be able to listen and give you practical things to help you. I would also recommend journaling. I would recommend anything that calms you. So if it's meditation, you need to sit down, listen to some music. If you need to self-talk, maybe sit in your car and record yourself talking just to get it all out. And find someone that you trust, that you can talk to and not worry about them judging you or saying something like, that's crazy, how could you be going through something like that. So that would be my way that's how you would get started. I would say go ahead and pursue a counselor, pursue some type of help in that way. And a lot of people think that it's taboo to go to get counseling, that you have to be super crazy, but no, there are people who are mentally well and they still go to counseling because they just need somewhere to dump, that information. So I would definitely suggest that first things first, seek counseling and do your research, because you want to make sure you have somebody that you click with very well.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know if you have any final thoughts, but that's it for me, guys.
Well, thank you for having me, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to Carup's Fitness channel. And if you want to come over to my channel, you can come over and subscribe at the Mompreneur Plug. I will be happy to have you. And thank you once again so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm super excited that you stayed with me this long and watched this entire video. If you know anybody who's struggling with mental health, who has struggled with postpartum depression or anxiety, share this video. I'm sure it will help them to know that someone else has been through and to see how someone else has conquered this situation. So thank you so much for watching. And if you would like to see any of my latest videos, click here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.